You had to go very far. I'm going to speak for half an hour.
Also, like when we came from coming, how far that distance? Hour or something.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Oh my God. Hare Krishna. So I was going to speak today on Lord Jagannath.
Yes.
How Lord Jagannath appeared. I understand that every month you have a special offering for Lord Jagannath here, isn't it?
Once a year.
Once a year.
Once a year. Once a month.
Every day, but Chapana Prabhu once a
Okay,
year.
once a year. That day is today.
Yes.
Okay. So you devotees are very fortunate. In your Atlanta temple, you have three very wonderful deities.
Yes.
Shri Gaurathai,
Yes.
Shri Radha Madan Mohan,
Yes.
and Jagannath Subhadra Baba. Say Krishna, say Gaura, say Jagannath. It is said that the same Krishna appears as Jagannath, and the same Krishna appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So long, long ago, in Satyuga, there was a king whose name was Indradumna. He was, can everyone hear me clearly?
Yes.
All the four corners? He was very God conscious, not like today's rulers who only pay lip service to religion. He used to constantly meditate. How can he serve Lord Krishna better? That was his constant meditation. One day, a Brahmin came to his palace, and the Brahmin said, "O king, I have special news for you. The Lord has descended in a very beautiful form, in which he is known as Neela Madhav. And if you ever have the opportunity to have darshan of Neela Madhav, you will be in great ecstasy." And he didn't say anything beyond that. The deities of the Lord appear in two forms. One is manifested, one is unmanifested. There are some deities that are self-manifested, just like Balaji deity in Tirupati or Srinathji in Nathdwara. So this Brahmin said, the deity of Neela Madhav is a self-manifested deity. Whereas, like in our ISKCON temples, we don't have any self-manifested deities. These were deities that were carved under the direction of the acharyas and carved by artists. So the king was very keen to have darshan of Neela Madhav. He called all the Brahmanas and he told them, he asked them, "Have any of you heard of Neela Madhav?" And everyone said, "We have never heard of Neela Madhav." Then the king sent his Brahmins to every corner of the globe, some to the north, some to the south, some to the east, some to the west. And these Brahmins went house to house, temple to temple, asking people if they had any idea where the deity of Neela Madhav could be found. Everyone came back saying, "Sorry, we could not gather any information." They asked, nobody knew where Neela Madhav was. But one Brahmin did not come back. His name was Vidyapati. Vidyapati stayed in the forest He said, I can't go back till I find the deity. This is my order from my king. And he was determined to try his best to look for God, look for Nilmada. So, Vidyapati was living in a forest. And in the same forest, there was another family living, the family of Vishvasu. Vishvasu was the head of a tribe that looked after pigs. He was, if you want to be frank, low caste. But even though he was born in a low caste family, he was a great devotee of the Lord. He was a great devotee. Actually, he was secretly worshipping Nilmada. He had a daughter whose name was Dalita. So, Vidyapati, the Brahmin who was sent by the king, gradually got in touch with Vishvasu's family. He very much appreciated the saintly qualities of Vishvasu's daughter, whose name was Lalita. And the two got married. So then Vidyapati started living in his father-in-law's house. And Vidyapati noticed that every day Vishvasu goes away somewhere secretly. Doesn't tell anyone where he's going. And he doesn't come back for 1 day, 2 days. And when he comes back, his body has such powerful fragrance that it looks as if he's coming from the spiritual world. So, Vidyapati was very keen. Where does Vishvasu go? So he asked his wife Lalita, where does your father go? He goes away, he doesn't come back whole night. Sometimes he doesn't come back for 2 days. Where does he go? And when he comes back, his body has such powerful fragrance. It looks as if he's coming from the spiritual world. First Lalita did not say anything. She said, I can't tell you where my father goes. It's a secret. No one is supposed to know that. But Vidyapati said, I'm your husband. You can't keep it a secret from me. But then she said, deep in the forest, there's a deity of Nilmada. That's a self-manifested deity. No one on the planet knows about this deity except my father. And my father is engaged in worship of this deity. And he doesn't want the king to know about this. If the king hears about it, the king will take the deity away. So nobody is supposed to know where this deity is. Vidyapati, when he heard that Vishvasu was worshipping Nilmada, he was in ecstasy. After all, this was a mission on behalf of the king to go and find out where Nilmada is. So Vidyapati pleaded with his wife, can I go with your father to have darshan of Nilmada? Vidyapati told his wife. The wife said, my father will never agree. But she requested the father, please, please, please take my husband. My husband is very keen to have darshan. And Vishvasu said, initially said, no, I won't take Vidyapati at any cost. But then when his daughter pleaded, he agreed. But he said, on one condition, I will blindfold your husband. we'll put a cloth around his eyes. So he doesn't know how to reach that destination. And when he reaches that destination, I'll take the cloth out. So Jalika said, okay, no problem. But Lalita and Vidyapati was smart. Lalita gave her husband a bag of mustard seeds that he tucked under his dhoti. And the plan was that on the path that they would walk, he would slowly go on dropping mustard seeds. So later on they could come back and identify the route that took him there. Finally they reached Neelamadav. And when they reached the deity of Neelamadav, Vidyapati Vishwasu took the cloth out. And when he took the cloth out, Vidyapati saw Neelamadav for the first time. When he saw Neelamadav for the first time, it gave him great ecstasy. He said, my king was right. There has never been in history a more beautiful form of the Lord. We, the materialists, do not always appreciate the beauty of the Lord. To appreciate the beauty of the Lord, we need purified eyes. Just like an intoxicated man cannot be expected to speak seemingly. Our eyes are so contaminated that we cannot always appreciate the beauty of the Lord. So by the process of chanting Hare Krishna, we get purifying our eyes. And as our eyes get purified, we can appreciate the beauty of the Lord more and more. So Vidyapati, he saw Neelamadav, and when he saw Neelamadav, it gave him great ecstasy. He was very happy. Then now I know why the king wanted to have darshan of Neelamadav. Vidyapati saw that his father-in-law Vishwasu was engaged, once he got there, in serving Neelamadav. What was his father-in-law doing? Breaking fruits from the trees and cutting fruits and offering to the Lord. And taking flowers and making garland for Neelamadav. Then in front of that Neelamadav deity, there was a lake. And next to the lake, there was a tree. And on that tree, there was a bird sitting down. And in front of Vidyapati, there was a crow. The crow fell in the lake and he died. But then he instantly took on a transcendental body like Vishnu. And he went back to Godhead in front of Vidyapati. So Vidyapati started thinking, what am I doing in the material world? Material world is nothing but a place of misery. Why don't I also commit suicide in this lake? And I commit suicide, then I'll get a spiritual body, then I'll go back to Godhead. What is there in the material world? Nothing but misery. Anyone who thinks that material life is full of pleasure is an illusion. How many of you in this audience think material life is full of pleasure? Come on. And how many of you think material life is full of misery? Oh, it looks like you people are already trained up. You don't need any spiritual training. Okay, at least you understand there's nothing but misery. So, Vidyapati was thinking, why don't I also commit suicide and go back to Godhead? But as he was meditating, there was a divine voice that said, Vidyapati, you can't become a coward. You came with the mission of looking for Neelamadav. Now you have found Neelamadav. Go and tell the king that you have found Nilmadhav. Don't think of committing suicide. So he gave the idea. And Vishwasu got very scared when he saw that Vidyapati has had darshan of Nilmadhav. Vishwasu's constant fear was, if anybody finds out where this deity is and how he is being worshipped, any rich man will take the deity away and make a big temple. So he arrested Vidyapati. He said, now you have seen Nilmadhav, I am scared, you will go and tell the king or some other rich man, will make a big temple for Nilmadhav and my service will go away. So he arrested him. But then because his son-in-law, he left him. So Nilmadhav, Vidyapati, went back to the king's palace. He told the king, King, I have good news for you. I have found the deity of Nilmadhav. When the king heard that the deity of Nilmadhav was found, he was in ecstasy. His ecstasy knew no bounds. His ecstasy had no limits. And the king said, let's go and have darshan of Nilmadhav. And Vidyapati knew how to go there because he had dropped the mustard seeds. And these mustard seeds had grown into trees. And these trees were directing him how to reach Nilmadhav. So the king, along with his army, proceeded towards Nilmadhav. When they finally reached their destination, the king could not have darshan of Nilmadhav. There was no Nilmadhav there. The deity had gone, disappeared. So when the king reached the destination and found that the deity was not there, he was very, very, very upset. He said, Vishwasu, you must have played a trick. Arrest him. He knows where Nilmadhav has been hidden. And then poor Vishwasu, he said, I did not hide the deity. I didn't know myself where the deity had gone. And Vidyapati said, I don't know where the deity has gone. So the king started lamenting. A devotee of the Lord does not blame others for his problems. In material life, we're always blaming someone or the other. No? Because of you this happened, you caused this to happen, you spoiled my business fortune. The devotee rather takes the blame on himself. So Vidyapati, King Nidamna was thinking, oh, I did my sinful life, now I found out where the deity is, now we don't know where the deity is. Just as he was lamenting, there was another divine voice. And the divine message was, in Nidamna, now I am unmanifested. Who? Nilmadhav. Nilmadhav said, I have now become unmanifested. You will never ever be able to see me in this form. But I am going to appear as Daru Brahman, in the form of a wood. And that form will be worshipped by you. And the divine message was, in the river, near the capital of the king's kingdom, there was a river. And in that river, you'll find a big log of wood floating. And in that log of wood, there will be the symbols for the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So the king proceeded in that direction with his army. And there when he came, he saw, yes, there was a big log of wood floating in water, and he saw that it had the symbols, the conch, club, lotus, that are there, and the lotus feet of the Lord. So when he saw that wood floating, he was very happy. But then when he touched the wooden piece, log of wood, to lift it up, the log of wood would not even move an inch. It would not move. Then the king called in his army. Come on, lift this log of wood. The whole army could not lift it. The log of wood was so heavy, the whole army could not lift it. So the king was again in anxiety. He was thinking, maybe I should go on fast again. But then there was a divine voice that said, O king, bring my devotee, Vishwasu and Vidyapati. They will lift me with no sweat at all. So the king at once called for Vidyapati and Vishwasu. And when they came, they lifted the log of wood very easily. And on a golden chariot, the log of wood was taken to the palace of the king. Now, the next challenge before the king was to make a form of the Lord from that special piece of wood. So he invited all the prominent sculptors to come and see if they could make a form of the Lord. The sculptors would come, and the moment each sculptor would touch the wood with his instrument, the instrument would break. So many sculptors were called, none of them could do anything. Then the Lord disguised himself as Vishwakarma. Have you heard of Vishwakarma?
Yes.
Who is Vishwakarma?
Architect of heaven.
He designed your house in Atlanta. He designed the palaces of the demigods. Vishwakarma is not an ordinary personality. So Vishwakarma disguised himself as an old man and came to the king and said, I can carve a form of the Lord, but on one condition. Leave me alone for 21 days. If I am left undisturbed, I will carve a form of the Lord. But if somebody ever comes in, I will stop the work at once. So, king said, okay. So Vishwakarma locked the door and with his instrument started making a form of the Lord. Tick, 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 tick. And the king, he was sitting outside the door with his ears pasted towards the door, hearing the tick, 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 tick sound. When we were building the Jew temple in Bombay, how many of you have seen ISKCON temple in Jew, Bombay? Okay. We get about 100,000 people every day. So, 50 to 100. So, when we were building the Jew temple, Prabhupada was staying in his 5th floor apartment. Prabhupada was hearing this tick, tick, tick noise. And Prabhupada said, this is Kirtan. Because the temple is being constructed for the Lord. So the king was hearing this tick, tick, tick. To him it was Kirtan. He was eager to see Nila Madhav manifested in a deity form. So he was very keen. He was anxiously waiting to see the form of the Lord. So this went on for nearly 15 days. But after 15 days, this tick, tick, tick stopped. So the king got worried. What's happened to the sculptor? Tick, tick, tick has stopped. And the king insulted his minister, what should he do? Should he go in and see what's happening? But the minister said, no, don't go in. Because the sculptor said, if somebody comes in, he'll call and stop his work. But Gundicha, the wife of the king, said, no, go and see. Maybe he has died. We didn't give him any food or water to drink. So the king opened the door. And as he opened the door and went inside, what did he see? He saw the form of Jagannath, Subhadra and Balaram. Jagannath, Lord Jagannath ki. Had you seen a beautiful temple? When he saw this form of Jagannath, Subhadra, Balaram, the king initially thought this form is a little incomplete, because a layman, when he looks at the deity of Jagannath, Subhadra, Balaram, the form does look a little incomplete. You don't see any legs. Lord Jagannath has no legs, isn't it? But still he walks all over the world. You know that? Today ISKCON devotees hold Rath Yatras in every corner of the globe. So Lord Jagannath is walking everywhere. Even in Atlanta city they have a Rath Yatra. So, Lord, the king was thinking, lamenting, that I made a mistake. I shouldn't have come in. But just at that time, Narada Muni appeared and said, O king, this form of the Lord is very genuine and authentic. And this is the form that the Lord wants to be worshipped in. And so Narada Muni assured the king that he made no mistake in interrupting the work. And then Nilmada became Jagannath, Subhadra and Balaram. So I gave you a very summary presentation of the story. And you devotees are very fortunate that in Atlanta you have Gaunitai, Radha Krishna and Jagannath Balaram. So when you come for darshan here every Sunday, you realize you're getting triple mercy. Did you understand what I mean by triple mercy?
Yes.
What does it mean? You get mercy from Gaunitai. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most merciful of all incarnations. Then you get mercy from Radha and Krishna. Radharani is very merciful. And then you get mercy from Jagannath. How many of you come to the temple every Sunday without fail? Oh, very small percentage. All of you should have lifted your hand. All of you should make it a point to come every Sunday. Prabhupada, when he set up ISKCON, he established a Sunday feast. Prabhupada knew at one time the movement would expand and there would be thousands of devotees like you who live at home and come and practice Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada started a Sunday program whereby you have an opportunity to come to the temple, have darshan of the Lord, hear spiritual discourses, take part in Gaura's Arati, and in the end have many devotees tell me, Sunday is our holiday. I said, why? Sunday we close the kitchen. We don't open the kitchen. Why? We go to Hare Krishna to eat prasad. You know, Steve Jobs, the late founder of the Apple company, once he gave a talk somewhere in Stanford or somewhere. And in the talk he said, when I was a student at Berkeley University, I had no money. I would walk all the way to the Hare Krishna temple to get a free meal. But unfortunately, when he became big, he forgot that. So, Krishna consciousness is a path of happiness. How many of you would like to have real happiness? The other day, 2 days ago, when I was coming from the airport, I saw a big billboard. Welcome to the city of happiness, Coca-Cola. So they were making you believe that if you drink Coca-Cola, you will find real happiness. Is that true? No. If you want real happiness, what should you do? Kali Kali Nama Rupa Krishna Avatar. Krishna incarnates in His holy name. So if you want real happiness, and I believe all of you want real happiness, is that true?
Yes!
How many of you feel that your mind is very peaceful? Oh, at least you're the honest Brahmanas. So how many of you would like to have a peaceful mind? So if you want a peaceful mind, real happiness, then we have a request to make. Should we make that request?
Yes!
Sometimes people say, Maharaj, make any request, but please don't ask for money. I came in a hurry and I forgot my credit card. So we won't ask you for money. So our request is, please chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Mantra means a chant that can give you peace of mind. So everybody wants peace of mind?
Yes!
The Maha means the great, the best. So to get real peace of mind, chant the holy names of the Lord. The Lord incarnates in the holy name. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had predicted that the holy name will be chanted in every town and village of the world. So all of you who are living in the Atlanta area are very fortunate that Srila Prabhupada opened this very wonderful temple for your pleasure. So please take advantage of it. Come every Sunday. Bring your friends here. Chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. How many of you have a copy of the Bhagavad Gita? If you want, I can autograph it. We'll do it in 50 or 100.
From here?
Yeah, after the lecture, someone announces it. But you have to announce. I'll sign it.
We can bring them. We'll bring them.
But you have to announce. So read, how many of you have, all of you have Bhagavad Gita as it is? Read the Bhagavad Gita. How many of you don't have the Bhagavad Gita? Even if you have it, you can get 2 or 3 more. So chant the Hare Krishna mantra, read the Gita, whatever you eat, offer it to the Lord as Krishna Prasad. And by eating Krishna Prasad, your life will become peace. So you chant. Everybody knows the Maha Mantra? You want to repeat after me for 1 minute?
Yes!
We chant only 1 minute, okay? We could chant longer, but there's no I've been told you devotees have to travel very far, so I don't want to delay the audience too much. So you want to chant with me?
Yes!
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So did you all enjoy chanting?
Yes!
So we request everyone to chant at least 1 mala of Hare Krishna mantra. How many of you have japa beads at home? So So can we request all to chant the Hare Krishna mantra every day? How many of you take responsibility to chant at least one mala every day? And read Bhagavad Gita. And come every Sunday for darshan of the deities. And eat only Krishna Prasad. This way you can perfect your life. Hare Krishna.